Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Command This Podcast proudly presents to you your now last seed in the playoffs holding wild card, not quite champions of the world, the Washington Commanders.
Let's go.
Hoo-hoo.
What is up, everybody, ladies and gentlemen? Good evening. It's the 28th of November. It's Monday. It's time for our Moxie Monday, Victory Monday. We're winning in the rain. Monday show. Because that's what we did yesterday. It was rainy. It was dirty against the Dirty Birds. But we came away with the W. 19-13.
Just like Steve likes his women, wet and dirty.
Well, hey. No better way, right?
That makes sense.
That's for show, right? That's a for show thing. Never pass that up. Never.
He's learning.
That's right. So, Phil, just initial thoughts on the game, man. How did it,
I mean, it kind of went the way I expected. A little less scoring than I thought, but I think that the weather had something to do with that. But I was very happy with how everything turned out in the end, with the with how the game went in terms of the game plan we executed, the defense. I knew that the defense was going to struggle a bit, and that's why I thought Atlanta would get 20. I just figured that we would score just enough points, but I felt good, not great. I mean, there's still plenty of things we can work on to become even better, especially now we are not just in the playoff hunt, but right now we are trying to keep other teams out of the playoff hunt.
Right.
So I felt good. Feel good.
What about you, Dev? Initial thoughts on the game before we go into the recap.
Well, I mean, I thought we did how we wanted. I thought it'd be as you put it, wet and dirty type of game, and that's what we saw. It was an ugly football game, but I think if you look at any team in history, even some of these guys has won 15 games in the season, all of them wasn't pretty. So
and sometimes we've said it before. What was the Bears game? I felt the dirtiest after the Bears game. At the end of the day, a win's a win, but this one I didn't feel that way because I just felt like the defense was just on point. You know what I mean? They were getting gashed a little by the run, but I just felt it was good. I didn't feel as dirty, but like you said, it wasn't ugly, but we still got the W in the end.
They dedicated a lot of resources to run the ball, though. You watch some of those film breakdowns. Was it Burrow that plays those on Twitter? That shows a lot of the videotape breakdown out from the all 48 or all 52, whatever, all 24 years.
Okay, no, I didn't.
Well, they showed a couple of breakdowns. You could see they were literally triple teaming Payne and double teaming Allen when they were up the middle every time. So that's making Bostic basically pick which hole to defend, and whichever he ran in one, they run in the other. We're probably going to see a lot of that next week, man, because I know the other teams are going to game plan that against our stout run D to do exact same game plan. So we're going to need. I know Holcomb can't come back, but we're going to need whoever's in there, Malo, Mayo, or Bostic they have to guess right, bro. They can't just reach. I know one time Bostic made a hell of a play for a tackle for loss. So
I mean, we saw a lot of good people come through, when they needed to. Good overall team win. That's all I can say about it. Right? Good team win. I think that's a good way to classify it. Team win. Of course, the defense was dominant. The offense did enough, just did what they had to do, manage the game. 19 points. That seems to be our average, man. It's funny how we're winning all these games. And
right on average.
19 points.
Right.
So when we were doing all the predictions and we saw all these high scores, I said 20, 24 or 23. I don't remember. We'll go back and revisit it. But some of these people saying 34, 40. It's like, man, we scored that. I think our highest score all year is 32 with the Eagles, and
32.
That one was a fluke with the end with the the kickoff. right?
Absolutely.
So what makes me think we're going to score that many? We're just not there. That's not what our offense is built for. So
now you know who back there.
yeah. I'm just posting something here. All right, let's get into the video recap here. Video recap. I think we got all the things, all the events posted to social media. But all right, video game recap. Then we'll go into Overreaction Monday. Good, bad, ugly, great. The Glock Dookie Award. Give out some game balls. I'm going to talk about the Sean Taylor tribute, memorial tribute. I'm not going to say statue. I'm going to say tribute.
Are we?
Actually, we might bump that up a little sooner.
Are we?
And then we'll talk about Taylor Heinicke's valuation moving forward. But just starting out in the game. Hold on, before we go into the actual beginning of the show, let me fade this music out for y'all real quick. And then while you're here, please go like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate that. Hit that like, it'll bump us up in the algorithm. And you can always find us on any of your audio podcast platforms, Google, Apple, Spotify, Odyssey. I think there's a couple more out there. We out here. So please go give it a listen. Anyways, let's get into the recap. So starting off in the first quarter. Falcons opened up the drive, man. It was just run. I felt like this was a very similar team in nature, not the right defense. Excuse me, the same amount of defense we had. But they opened up pushing the run, started the first drive with a field goal, and they did a good mix of run and pass, but mostly pass. And Mariota looked pretty good. He did a lot of RPO keepers. I was not expecting that from Mariota, but we talked about this in the preview when we had Commuter Phil on Thursday, that, you know, was Dev and I, that Mariota was the second leading rusher on this team, or excuse me, third leading rusher behind Algier and Patterson. So it's the kind of the Mariota we knew when he came into the league, but then he settled down, but he's back to using his leg. And he made some very smart pulls on those RPOs, if you want to call it that, or I don't know, what do we call RPO, run pass options, or just read options? I'm sorry, read options. That's the right terminology, right? Read option, not RPO. And then, so we bust out our first drive, a pretty good balance, 4 passes, 3 runs. Taylor made some good passes. We saw Deami come out and had a great catch. And then B-Rob ends the drive with a 14-yard skipper up the right sideline and just boulders over a couple folks. It was a 4-minute, 76-yard drive, score 7-3. How about that B-Rob drive where he just steamrolled dude?
Truck stick action.
I had to take a minute and just think about it, because that was such a thing of beauty. I mean, I marked out so hard. When's the last time you seen one of our guys just truck a dude like that? You know, that's some like Stephen Davis reminiscence right there.
Yeah, Stephen Davis.
You know,
Alexander. We had Alexander for a hot minute.
he didn't do that for us, though. He did it for other people.
Gerald Riggs.
That's a Gerald Riggs
Ernest
move.
Biner a little bit.
Ernest Biner a little bit, but definitely a Gerald Riggs. He was a power runner. John Riggins, you know, George Rogers, kind of just trucking it over a dude. That was such. It was beautiful violence. Beautiful violence.
Marcus Edlin, welcome to the show. What up, fam? Nice win. Go check out Marcus's Facebook group, Sports View 2. Charlton Julian from YouTube. Thank you much. Thank you much for joining. CJ the Hog. What's up, CJ? Our boy Terrence here, 10-1, Fly Eagles Fly. Yeah, Terrence, we know. Y'all won 2, man. Y'all won 2. Although Green Bay gave you a quick run, if Jordan Love had a few more series, it might have been a little different. But 33-40, they came within 7. They covered the spread.
I can't understand why Green Bay just didn't keep running the ball. Like,
I don't.
Why? I cannot figure this out. I'm like, dude, why are y'all not just running Jones and Dillon 40 times a game against these guys?
We've given you the blueprint.
Right, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that they have those guys at running back. It just was I think one of them got the ball like 7 or 8 times. Like, that makes no sense, man.
Yeah. CJ says apparently we don't need Chase Young anymore. So in the Twitter spaces, there was some arguments about we don't need Chase Young. We're not gonna get into that full argument here, but people were arguing about trading multiple first-round picks for Chase. First off, I don't think anyone's going to give 3 first-round picks for Chase, but if they did, I probably would sign up for 3
have them. I'll drive them to the house.
I probably wouldn't consider anything less than that. I don't know, but I don't even want to talk about that. We don't. They do could flourish into the greatest.
Give me one good one. I might
argument.
One good one.
We don't know.
Nobody is untouchable.
It's all hypotheticals.
Nobody is untradeable completely, but no one's going to give what you want for some of these guys. So that by default makes them not tradable. If someone makes you that offer, yeah, and that's for anybody, Terry, anybody. Yep. But until that happens, which it won't, you move on.
Yep. Bernadette Marie from Facebook says, Skins beat Giants. Thank you for joining. Terry says 368 yards, 10-1, baby. Yes, that was a very sick rushing performance put on by Philadelphia. Crazy. Although I will say in the 2 games versus us, I think Jalen Hurts had a combined 48 yards rushing. So I think we kind of had the formula. We kind of had it down. But we'll see. I guess we'll see you again in the playoffs is the next time we'll see you if we see you.
Yeah. And by the way, how about we miss Joe Barry, Green Bay's defense coordinator?
Oh yeah. All right. Let's get back into the second drives. Not too much happened on the second drives. Falcons did a couple more RPOs of Mariota. Drake London dropped an easy peasy lemon squeezy screen pass. Got shook. Felt some footsteps coming. Our second drive, Taylor makes a stupid forward pass, almost causing a fumble. If you guys remember that? Oh, he did this thing where he does the fling instead of a pass. It was like a shovel pass forward. He did it twice. And then we were like, all right, Taylor's on some Taylor shit. What's he doing? And then we didn't see it again, but 2 plays in a row, he did that forward. It's like, what are you doing, guys? Seriously. So the end of the first quarter at 7-3, moving into the second quarter, game kind of picks up a little bit. Mariota continues to gash just the defense on those those read option keepers. And then Algier rumbled off a big win. And then on 2nd and 25, I was a little upset at the time. We gave up a big 22-yard grab from Drake London. And I will say there was one formation they ran on this drive. It was like a modified wishbone. It was basically a reverse wishbone with Mariota in the middle. I don't know what you even call that. Probably some Georgia Tech Army offense, soda nonsense. It was a quarterback in shotgun or pistol with a running back to the left, running back to the right, and a running back behind him. That's like a reverse wishbone to me. I don't know what you call it real in other college offense speak, but either way, Mariota caps that off with a boot opposite corner. So he rolls out to the right and then throws it back to the left to Pruitt for a touchdown. It's one of my favorite plays on Madden, Dev, if you know that, with a tight end basically drags across from right to left and the quarterback rolls right. The dude's always open.
You'll never get
Can I say something about that play?
Yeah, go ahead.
David Mayo pissed me off on that play because he blew coverage. He stares at the guy catching the pass, and then he starts looking at the guy, and you see him go. Yeah, those in the audio, you can't see what I did, but basically, he looked like a tard. And what happened is I'm like, what are you getting mad at him for? You blew the coverage.
Yeah.
Why are you talking? You can't talk to the dude who burned you by 5 yards in the end zone. It's not like you had 5 yards to work with, and he still got 5 yards on you. Caught the easiest pass in history, and you're all like, blah, 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 blah.
He probably was like this. Not 8 Mile, whatever.
You picked it up. Good job.
Yeah, he didn't know. I think he just got okey doke by the play, man. Because I mean, that dude Pruitt has like 3 catches the entire season or something.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. Man.
Yeah, I think he just got caught on it. I mean, it happens, I guess, man. I mean, they put the cleats on the same way we do. They go to practice all week and prepare all week, same as we do. They're gonna make a play. They got guys that can make plays, man. Mariota can make some plays. One thing you might think he's a trash quarterback. Mariota can make some plays, man.
Yeah, he's just limited. He's just limited in passing. Like downfield passing.
They don't have a lot to pass to, though.
So he's a mobile. He's mobile, but he's limited in passing.
Who does that sound like?
Who does that remind?
Except our guy's 6-1 on the last 7, so I don't know. I don't know. Terry
We've
says,
won
I'm
6 of
proud
the
to
last
say the
7
entire
since
if
starting.
the playoffs were to be today, Terrence says, I'm proud to say that the entire division is in the playoffs as of right now. The NFC Beast. That is very true.
Is
So
back,
AFC
baby.
West looking right now. Like
Beast is back.
Here you go. If it were to end today,
damn shotguns. Damn shotguns.
shotguns with another Glock Dookie, man. We'll give you another Glock
Damn
Dookie.
shotguns, man.
But hey, the East is back. Although I think
What?
the Giants are going to self implode. They're
Well,
on a
the
downward
Giants
trend.
got 2 games. Giants got 2 games against us and Philly, and I think they got
They
1
do.
against the Giants left.
I don't think they're going to survive those 4 games.
Let's put it this way.
I'm gonna worry about us
The
surviving.
Giants can self-destruct. We do have to show them the way, but we'll talk about that next episode. We have to show
It
them.
sound like reading Rainbow, but don't ask me. It's in the book.
Lamar.
Yeah. Are you saying what the hell is that instrument at the end, bro?
Butterfly in the sky. That one.
I can fly twice as high.
What? You're the musician, Dev. You should
Take
know
a
that.
look. It's in
It's
the
in
book.
the book.
It's reading Rainbow. Come on, Phil. I can do
Go
anywhere. Ways to go and ways to grow.
A reading rainbow. All right, a few more comments. Patrice says Washington, baby. That's right. Ronnie White from Facebook. Thank you for joining us. I think we go 4-1 down the stretch. There's definitely a chance. I was thinking more 3-2. I think a consensus is 3-2, the safe one. Yam from Japan says, "What's up, heathens?" And Phil. I like how he has to determine. You did that last week too when you weren't here, by the way, to defend yourself. So that was kind of funny. Yes, Terrence.
I am the
red Solo cup. I keep forgetting my glasses upstairs. So you know what? I have these 2 feet away, and sure, I keep them for tailgating, and why not? Aaron Scher from Facebook said, "Giants starting to get healthy. We got to be ready." Yes, that's very true. Yam said, "How many people in here hit that like button?" Thank you. Hit over to YouTube. Hit that like button. We'd much appreciate that. Liz Vinti from Facebook says, "Love all the winning, but at some point we got to find a quarterback. What do y'all think?" Yes,
we can't do it this year. It's too late in the year to do it now.
You got to stick around to the end because we're going to talk about Taylor Heinicke's projected monetary valuation with some numbers to go with that. So please stick around to the end. That's the last topic we're going to talk about. If not, check back in about 40 minutes. We'll probably be on there. So Yam says, "Also, why the hell do people equate pointing out deficiencies where the team can improve as complaining? They aren't the same. Even the teams leading their divisions can improve in places." That's right. It's not like I'm saying we. I've seen some people legitimately complaining. Let's not get that twisted. But some people who just want more and want better, that's not complaining. That's just we expect perfection out of our team, and we're fans, short for fanatics.
We're in the midst of a very hot playoff race. Seeding. We're not just talking about getting into the playoffs. We're now talking about getting better seeding. We need to. You got to point out where you can get better.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like every other team in the NFL doesn't already know this. They don't. They know these things about us. They all have the film.
Right.
We still discuss that because we want to get better. We don't want to just squeak into the playoffs. I don't want the 7th seed. I want the 6th. I want the 5th. I want the 4th.
Yeah. Terrence says the DMX Reading Rainbow version is the best. I got to Google that, by the way. I got to.
The DMX
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer
is funny as shit.
Yes.
What? Come on.
Yes. Marcus says if you don't complain, you don't want to be a champion. Like everything's not all crimson and clover. All right, let's get back to the recap here. So still at the end of the first quarter, man, y'all are live in the chat, man. This is what I like. So we end up getting another field goal. At this point, with 2:20 left in the first quarter, Taylor Heinicke was 11 for 11, 42. I'm sorry. We were at 11 rushes to 11 passes, and we had 42 yards rushing and 104 yards passing with 2:20 left. That's really good balance, and that's what I think we need to be successful. And that's kind of what, at least I know Phil and I, we've always talked about. That's what we need: balance. So at 10-10 with basically the first quarter over. Moving on to about Atlanta's our next drive, Taylor throws that terrible interception down the middle. Not really sure who he was throwing to. He had 2 people open right in front of him.
Do you have the image? I
don't have the image yet. I will get it. I will come back to that. Yeah, I didn't have. that much time to prepare like I wanted to, but I know exactly where I can get it while we keep talking. So Taylor throws that terrible interception, and it was just kind of like it was one of those really Taylor moments. Because so first we had
There were a couple of those.
the 2 shovel passes, and then he had that interception, and it was just like, what are you doing?
He went through it. I mean, he started off hot, and it wasn't like he wasn't even taking shots. He was just he was taking what the defense was giving him, and he was being efficient. And then suddenly Taylor decided, I'm going to be Taylor. And I felt like he did as his shirt said on an interception. Fuck it. Taylor's down there, or Terry's down there somewhere. Whoa. Got no lift on the ball. He was trying to throw the ball over defenders, but he didn't get any lift on the ball. He just this
very frustrating.
You live and you die by good Taylor, bad Taylor.
That's it. Okay, moving on. So we go into the half. It's 10-10. The game's locked. It's a tight game. We're going back and forth, drive to drive. Coming out at halftime, we get the ball. B-Rob.
We did get lucky, by the way. Before you said,
yes.
We did get lucky because when they picked off that pass, they then got themselves in a field goal position, and Younghoe Koo in the rain almost puts through a 58-yarder. He clanged it off the left upright. But I was watching that kick, and I'm like, no. When it bounced off that upright, I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. Aaron says that Browns game is going to be a tough one, especially with Watson back and their defense playing better. Yep. We'll talk about it at the end, but we'll see. Deshaun Watson's scheduled to be back. Patrice says Brian Robinson is in beast mode. That is right. Yam says, also look at that flag behind Steve. That's how the black unis need to be. And for the love of God, make the helmets matte black at least. Yeah. Yam and I talked about this last week with Dev. I'm with you. The way the Sean Taylor jersey looked, the burgundy 21, that's how I'm with Yam. I wish the numbers were the burgundy on the back of the jersey.
Don't be surprised if they go to that next year, by the way.
Yeah. And Cody says, my guys, welcome Cody Jones. Twitter killed me for just that 19.5 points per game is a problem. It is a problem. It's not
the win. I said 19 points a game. Somebody in the chat told me it's 20-something points. I mean, I don't know, but either way.
That's not a sustainable model for winning. I think you need to be at least 22, 23 at a minimum.
On offense, too. We got 1 or 2 scores on defense.
I mean, in the last 7 games, our defense is, you know what, Cody? Because you said that, I have something for you right now. We're just going to get into it. So, peep this. Compliments of Nikki Jabala on Twitter. Let's look at the first 5 weeks of offenses up top to orient you to the graphic. Here's everything we did on offense for the first weeks 1 through 5. And look at everything weeks 6 through 12. Look at that. The picture says it all. I don't really have to explain a whole lot for the audio crowd. It's just breaking down the different philosophies. But look, one thing I want to point out, 3rd and long attempts. So 7.0 a game, third most. Week 6 through 12, we're down to 4.86 30 most. That is an exact result of running the ball to getting it 3rd and short, which we did not do. Look at the rushes per game under Carson Wentz, basically 23, and look at under the Taylor 30, basically 36. That's a lot. Big difference there.
Look at pass attempts a game. 42 to 27.6.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? So this kind of goes to Cody's comment. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's right there. It's the play calling.
Yep.
The play calling is dramatically different. And I don't know how you can say realistically. I mean, it's not like the quarterbacks don't call plays in this offense. Scott Turner calls the plays, and there's no audibles.
Yeah.
So this is all Scott Turner play calling for pass attempts, run attempts. That has nothing to do with that. And it goes back to what I said. Taylor's limitations also happen to limit Scott Turner's worst tendencies. Scott Turner wants to run this fun and gun, sling the ball everywhere offense. He really wants to, but he can't. So,
yep.
We go to this ground and pound offense, and it works.
Yeah. Now look at the bottom, Dev. This goes to your point, the defense. Look at all the numbers. Look, our scoring, we were giving up 25.6 and now we're giving up 15.4 in the last 6 weeks. Look at that.
Well, and also we were playing outside the Eagles. We haven't really played a high-powered offense. I don't think, have we? All right, who has he played against weeks through 12?
We've played a good run. We played a really good run offense against the Falcons. Falcons were top 10 rush offense in the league, and that says something because they're behind in a lot of games. And they still have a top 10 rushing offense and a very dynamic one. As we saw, they can run on you in a million different ways. So, but the Eagles and the Falcons run game were some tests. And they were good tests because it mirrors a lot of what we're going to be seeing going forward from some of these teams. You know, the Falcons run offense is the most dynamic we're going to see this season, not named San Francisco.
Yeah. And San Francisco, I mean, look, they just won their game 13-0. Their defense is winning their games. I don't care. It ain't Jimmy Garoppolo. Even though they have Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, that team is led by their defense and mistake-free offensive football. That's the model.
But again, like I said, Jacksonville has a good offense. At least week 1 they did. Lions
They're even
have
better now. Jacksonville's even better now.
Lions have one of the best offenses in the league, even though they're terrible. And the Eagles have one of the best offenses in the league. Cowboys have one of the best offenses in the league. Like I don't. That's who we played weeks 1 through 4. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Titans have one of the best running backs in the league. And then we got the Bears. Other than that, when you go to week 6, what's that? Week 6 will start the Bears. So we got the Bears. Vikings have a good offense. Eagles have a good offense. And then you got Texas Falcons. I mean, it's not – I don't know. You got to really watch who you – and, and also with the Eagles, they really don't have a great offense. It's basically just running.
Right. I mean, the best offenses we play this year are Philadelphia and Minnesota. Philadelphia twice in Minnesota. You can't really count Green Bay. Rodgers was struggling at the time. So you're right. We haven't played any elite offenses, and we really won't till we see Dallas at the end of the season. They're not even elite.
Maybe Browns with Watson.
And Browns with Watson, we don't know what that's going to look like.
That's such an unknown. I'm glad we're going to have a few games of film on them by the time we play them.
Yep. Yeah, it says the Browns are juiced up right now.
Tony Hudson on Facebook. Like the day before.
Mr. Titan. Our boy, Mr. Titan from Facebook. Even if you're not a Titans fan, everyone watching this channel, go over to YouTube, check out Mr. Titan. Go hit that sub button for him. He's our boy, doing it big over there on the Titans network over there in YouTube world. So he's doing big things. Not only that, he's also into the big charity stuff. So give him a shout. I know they lost to the Bengals yesterday. Tough loss, bro. 2016. Still got love for you, man. Still our boy.
Treylon Burks showed you what happens when you hustle and follow a play.
Yeah. Lizzie, we kind of covered this. Wentz versus Heinicke. We just talked about the play calling has been different for each one. The defense has played better for each one. The O-line's been healthier for each different people. We had a better O-line now than we do under Carson. But I'm not making excuses. He didn't perform. I'm not trying to say it, but all the talent in the world is with Carson. Chemistry right now is with Taylor. I think that's just kind of the way to put it, sadly. Yam says, like I said, on Ref the District channel, they just got done with their live stream. Also look at the team comp. It's not the same. It's not just Taylor versus Carson. B-Rob's back. That's true. O-line's playing better. Adjustments on D. We're playing a different puzzle. It's apples and oranges. It really is. Jesse Caldwell from Facebook. What's up, brother? Says 2,000 Ravens. That was a great defense, by the way. Tony Shivers from Facebook. Even Williams came in and ran with violence. He did 3 or 4 runs.
Williams remind me of Jones. What's the name? Didn't have any knee cartilage. Fumbled all the time.
Extreme prejudice.
Matt Jones.
Yeah, Matt Jones. Who reminds me of non-fumbling Matt Jones.
Yep. Tarrant says, Mr. Titan, you're going down. I guess they got it. Let me see. Titan schedule. They must have Philly coming up next weekend. Okay, December 4th. That'll be a good game. Philly versus Tennessee. Moving on to the game recap, I'll just fast forward a little bit. Tress Way did right after halftime, though. Tress Way, if you remember, had that nasty punt down to the floor.
How do you drop a punt on the nose of the ball?
I mean, it went dunk, bloop. It didn't even bounce.
I know it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I don't know if it was waterlogged.
I mean, the field being wet,
Bermuda grass or Kentucky bluegrass, whatever it is. But
for the ball to drop right on its nose like that, is insane.
Trust
Because
way.
that's such
This
a
is the trust way.
This is the Trust way. And then we go down on our sixth drive. Atlanta punts again. On the sixth drive, we go down. A couple good plays. Terry gets an end around, which we don't ever see that often. Jonathan Williams comes in and gives a 9-yard bullying run. On that run, I will say Cornelius and Norrell pulled. And I wrote it down because it just reminded me of old school Joe Gibbs counter Trey. I'm like, you never really see that with this offensive line. And I saw it on that play, and it really just kind of made me.
This line does pull more than you realize. They run a lot of trap. They don't do a lot of guard pulls like on the counter like Gibbs would, but they run a lot of trap on the counter, right? And then they'll cut that thing up the hole. So it's just a different movement of the offensive line on the trap. It's a single guard pull or a tackle pull across the line instead of two guards going out to the outside. But I like that we have something that's kind of a signature move that teams are having a hard time stopping. You do see it quite a bit.
Yeah, no, you're right. And then we end up capping that drive with a pass from Taylor Heinicke with 4 minutes and 3 seconds left, 16-10. Nice, beautiful, I don't know what you want to call that route. Flare out to the right to Bates. He was wide open. And then Joey Slye missed that extra point. I was mad, but you know what? He's been flawless all year. I think that was his second extra point he's missed all year. He's missed as many extra
points as he's missed field goals.
Exactly. And not to mention, he still kicked the 58-yarder last week.
I'm cool. I'm very cool with.
I don't know if you caught the commentators though. At this point, they called Bates Jahan Dotson. I don't know if you caught that. They called him Jahan Dotson in the end zone. I don't know why. And they finally fixed it on the back end. But it made me think about that at that point in the third quarter. We hadn't heard Dotson's name called once. I don't think we heard his name called all game. Let's confirm he did play, right? Jahan Dotson did play.
I thought he was running.
He was there.
That's what I heard before the game started.
I heard his name 0 times. I heard Curtis Samuel's name once on an end around or jet sweep.
He ran a couple times.
Yeah. And so on our seventh drive, AG gets a big draw from 3rd and 18, and Joey Slye hits a field goal. AG was very dynamic. So it's 19-13. We go back and forth, drive, punt, drive, punt, drive, punt. And then going into basically towards the end of the fourth, about 5 minutes left, Mariota fell, got up, reconnected with Zacchaeus for 45 yards. It was crazy. And then Algier converts a huge 3rd and 4. This basically takes us all the way down to the end of the game. And then Montez gets called with an offsides, gives him a first down. It was starting to get crushed. I was starting to get worried at this point. I'm like, all right, these guys are going to score. It's 19-13, and they're going to score 7 points, and we're going to lose 20-19. And then what happens next? Later on that drive, we get the turnover we all wanted, and it was amazing. It was a Deron Payne tipped turnover at the line,
left hand up.
You know what? That is left hand up. There you go. I didn't even think about that. Dad. That's a good call. Left hand up.
Somebody else said it.
Yeah. And then it was game time. It was game blouses at that point. It wasn't even close no more. But
we closed it out. We closed it out in very, very Washington fashion.
Yes.
Let's talk about what happened when we got the ball back.
Well, hold on. Let's show everyone the replay here. Thanks to Reddit. Check out the quality on this video. God bless Reddit. It was just amazing.
Left hand up. That was the laggiest thing ever.
Insane.
Somebody caught that well, but
look at Curl squat dance. Look at him dancing. Look at Curl dancing. He knew. He knew right there. He knew right there. Fast forward to the end. Look at that. Look at them boys. They was happy. They was happy. But I want to go back to the beginning of play again. Right. I can't really freeze it, but Deron Payne left hand up. Exactly what it was.
Left hand up.
Either way, dope in all aspects. Andre Shorter from Facebook, our boy Andre. Thank you for joining, man. Always good to have you on here. Cody says, Phil has been whispering in Scotty's ear, or Scotty's just been watching this podcast. You never know. You know what I mean? I heard he listens to this on his morning commute from Ashburn into the facility. So that's what I read it on Twitter somewhere. Andre said there's a guy in another group that has the audacity to compare Heinicke to Garoppolo. I don't know. Is that I mean, it's a little too early to make that comparison, if you ask me. Garoppolo has way more wins under his belt.
He's not handsome enough, number one.
No.
I mean, you gotta give it to Garoppolo.
Dog. Like Heinicke is a total bro dog.
They call him Beer Man, I think. That's what people call him, Beer Man, which is awesome, by the way.
I mean,
I would totally hang out with Heinicke over anybody, though. Not all those guys, personally.
Yam says Taylor can't see John. Ooh. Bird. There's Cody Jones says, say it again. Bates. Yep. Andre says you don't hear Dots' name because Heinicke's going to McLaurin most of the time. Yep, that's right.
In fact, so let's talk about after that interception. We get the ball back. We get the clock down to 40 seconds or whatever. We go to punt. And Tressway channels his inner Taylor Heinicke and draws a running into the punter penalty.
Oh my gosh.
Give us the first down. And it's like I'm sitting there, I watch all the games with my dad, and we're both like, that was tacky. That was corny. That was like, come on, man. It's like that was an Oscar-worthy acting job because he only got tipped on his toe.
Yeah.
But he acted like he got
44 seconds left.
For the James Harden.
But the penalty was by Ogundeji. Ogundeji. Ogunde.
He barely missed the block. He barely
running into the kicker. But I will say he knew it as soon as it happened, though. You guys know that, right? Mm-hmm. As soon as it happened, he knew it because he put his hands over his head like this, and he knew it. He knew it. There was no way around it. He knew that. You know, if you ever seen that meme, it was at this point he knew he had fucked up. Like that.
Morgan Freeman.
Yes, that's that. You know what? I even show you the picture right here. Check it out. While we're on it, he knew. Where is it? Where are we, fellas? Where are we?
Imagine the live streaming.
Yeah, I can't really. Oh, here we go. Look at that, right there. Hand on the head. He knew he was done. He knew it.
He had fucked up.
That's right. All right, let's get into Overreaction Monday. Overreaction Monday. Dev, let's start with you, man. If it goes in the chat, put your overreactions in, and we'll start firing through these segments.
We're in the playoffs. That's the overreaction. I think the overreaction is we're in the playoffs. I mean, we are in the playoffs, but we're not out of the heat yet. We still got a lot of hard football to win, man.
That's true.
How many do you think we need to win? We got 6 left, 7 left?
3. 3. We have 5 games left. We got to win, going 3-2. I think you got to get to 10 wins. 10-7 probably gets you in my opinion. You know?
Yeah.
Greg Delaney from Facebook says that's our first win in those uniforms. It is.
Yeah.
It has not been. We have not been successful so far. And back up earlier, you said, "What's up with Ron and clock management?" You know, I did make a note towards the halftime. We did not call a timeout left, and it was the Falcons basically took the clock from 1:02 down to 29 seconds, and we just sat there and waited.
It wouldn't have mattered if he had just threw the ball underneath because we had 3 timeouts left.
I mean,
Taylor
threw the interception next drive anyways, but still, you had 3 timeouts. You should have just used one of them. Why? I don't know. Ron and timeouts frustrates me to no end. It really does. Antonio Brown, Tressway flop. Yes. Oh, Patrice says, yes, I was here for it. I'm guessing you were at the game. Thank you much. That was awesome. Yam says,
Jacksonville game.
If we had the cardiac caps, the nervous Nationals, and the wholesale Wizards, what would the Commanders be? Can't use cardiac again. That's right.
Clutch
Commanders. The clutch. I am the clutch commander. Says, Jimmy G got porn star money. Porn star money. All right, Phil, what you got? What's your overreaction Monday?
My overreaction is that I don't know what my overreaction is because I don't feel like I have any kind of a reaction that's overreacting. We could be the top wild card seed by the end of the season. That's my overreaction. We could be there.
You think so?
Man,
That's
I want to see everybody's reaction after we lose one. Like, I want to see how everybody the air just come all the way out of the fire, man. The air just come all the way out of the balloon, man. I mean, I hope that's not the case, but man, I just can't wait. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope we win out. That'll be amazing. But let's be realistic, right? If we lose one, just imagine. Then it's horrible. Like it's like a 3 interception Heinicke day.
So Phil says you think we're going to be right here in this middle column, like number 5?
I think. Look, we're only a game and a half behind.
Yeah.
And we still have to play Dallas.
Yeah.
I don't think Dallas has. I think their schedule is not going. Other than us, and even if we win, it's not enough. If we're the only ones to beat them, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
it all depends. Like I said, is it likely in all reality? No, I don't think we're going to catch them.
Yeah, Dallas has a schedule. They got Indy, Houston, Jacksonville, Philadelphia, Tennessee, and Washington.
The only one they are probably going to be underdogs in is a Phil game.
That's it. Unless that goes down again, crazier things have happened.
No, they don't win out.
A few more comments. Chris Winslow, what's up, y'all? From Facebook said overreaction. I heard we're going to win the NFC East. And Terrence says Washington takes a division lead. Yes.
By the way, shout out to Chris Winslow. The man is the definition of a civil servant down in Chesterfield. I know who Chris is. Hell of a good human being. Just want to give him a shout out,
Chris,
publicly here.
Cody says overreaction, 3rd and inches, pass, and 3rd and 18, run. Yes. AG, 3rd and 18 draw, 3rd and inches, we passed and we didn't get it.
But that AG 3rd and 18 run got us in the field goal range.
It did. That's right.
And I think that's
overreaction.
For. And it worked.
Even in the wins, our secondary is still suspect. Stop letting short gains turn into big. Stop getting burned. That said, 10-7. My God, I want to beat the Cowboys. My overreaction is very similar. We've arrived. The defense is here. There's still, our defense can take us to the promised land. That's my overreaction because I still don't think we've arrived yet. I just don't. But that's my overreaction. Marcus's overreaction says fans thinking that Heinicke is the only reason why we are winning streak. We are on the winning streak and we are already in the playoffs. I mean, you can make the argument that we're doing it in spite of his play. He's managing the game. He's managing the goodwill, the game well. I said goodwill, but I don't know. Chris says, appreciate you. Didn't Dallas have the easiest schedule heading into this year? They might have. I don't know.
I think it was like the entire NFC East was in the bottom.
I know we were too.
I think the 4 teams made up the part of the bottom 10 in terms of strength of schedule.
Yep. All right, let's now go into good, bad, ugly, great. So Phil will go with you, then I'll go, then Dev will make you last, and we'll transition to you afterwards. So Phil, good, bad, ugly, great. What you got?
Good was the defense bending but not breaking.
Bend the knee.
The bad was Taylor Heinicke after his 7 of 9 start. Just completely falling apart, and especially in the second half. I mean, only 5 completions for 30-some yards. I mean, granted, that touchdown pass to Bates was nice. Bates was wide open, but it was still nice. But realistically, the interception. He had that one interception. He had those flips. Just Taylor doing that.
He had Curtis right over the middle on the flip, like wide open.
He had two
that also that one when he rolled out and overthrew Terry and he was on wide open. He had Thomas standing in the middle of the right there by the sideline, just standing there. Like he could have easily just got the first down.
I
hate about you.
The ugly was the first half run defense. They did get a lot better in the second half.
Yeah.
The defense, but and you know what? Hey, credit to Jack Del Rio. He made the adjustments. But that first half run defense, it's like, guys, you should not have been caught this flat-footed with this team. We know who they are.
Yep.
The great was
Brian Robinson and the rest of the run game just grinding it out. Again, we win. This is a team that runs the ball really well and ran the ball pretty well against us. We still won time of possession by over 7 minutes. We outran them. We held, and we just wore down their defense, and that opened up the play action, which, that led to the successful passes that Terry had on multiple occasions. So, yes, definitely. Great was the run game.
Okay, fair. I'm going to say good for me was our running game. It was awesome. It's exactly what we needed it to be. We ended up with 176 rushing yards. I know it wasn't 328 like the Eagles was, Terrence. Don't get all celebratory. It was 176, which is good for us. 37 rushing attempts, average 4.8 per clip. That's what we needed. Bad was our run defense initially. I mean, we gave up 167 yards total. We gave up 5.8 yards per rush. So to me, that was the run defense, not holistically, but just from that perspective. Ugly, I would say the offense in general, and I'm kind of reaching here. There wasn't a whole lot ugly, the bad weather, but I'm going to say the offense in general, particularly the passing game. I know the weather had a lot to do with it. Taylor made some bad throws. Like he had some they kind of sailed on him. They went away. I think someone up here actually said that. I think it was Greg Delaney mentioned it earlier about the ball sailing out of Taylor's hands, especially in the back of the end zone. There was one play I think was it Bates almost came down with one. But it did
Bates
sail on him. Oh, I'm sorry. Andre Shorter said, if Heinicke's so mobile, why is it when he escapes the pocket, has a lane open to run, he throws too high? Happened twice yesterday. If I'm Taylor, just run those, man.
Taylor, it's funny. The only time Taylor really gets like oomph on the ball is when he's running.
Yeah.
Like that extra momentum helps him out dramatically. But he gets wild at times. Which is weird because that used to be one of his strengths. He'd roll out and he could hit somebody, coming across to the sideline. But here lately, it's been, I don't know what happened.
Terrence said the good interception, bad offense, great. They won when it mattered the most. That's true. Lizzie said we made Mariota look like Pat Mahomes. At times, we kind of did. He made a couple plays. Yam says, just looked up. It was all 4 of our teams. It was Cowboys, followed by us, then Eagles, and then the Giants. Says B-Rob is him. That's right. Marcus says the good, Tress Way. Bad, Taylor Heinicke. He's got to cut out the dumb interception. Containing Marcus Mariota was ugly. Great, the running game. Robinson and Gibson and Williams and the defense stepping up in big moments. That's cool. Right. James Nichols says, what if the whole division makes the playoffs? That's right. James, I know you missed it, but I will share this again for you because we just kind of talk about you joined late, but we talk a lot about this graphic here. This is the third time we've shown it. If it ended today, we'd be in the wild card. So Giants are going to implode. We just got to really worry about San Francisco. Seattle got knocked off yesterday by the Raiders,
and we get to get our revenge against Minnesota too, wouldn't we?
Yep, show enough.
All
right. Moving right along. Andre says the good, the defense bad. Heinicke throwing into triple coverage. What the fuck was he thinking? Yes, ugly. The defense was great. Finger being in the right place, the right time for the pick. That's right. Left hand up. Who are we? This good secondary, bad Heinicke, great B-Rob and Gibson.
The commies.
Chris, we'll take a question from Chris Winslow and move on to next segment, or we'll move on to Dev. It says one question: can the Sam Cosmi and Cornelius Lucas rotation continue to produce running lanes like they've been? I don't see why not. It's been working. Why stop what's working?
That's the reason why Taylor Heinicke is still quarterback.
That's right. Dev, let's go to you for your good, bad, ugly, and great.
Good is Derek Forrest is a hitter, bro. Like Derek Forrest set the tone with a couple of big hits, especially one big one on Mariota. You got another one, I think, on the running back that came with the middle, man. He's a thumper.
It's the second week in a row we've had an actual pro wrestling move show up in our tackles.
Right.
Last week,
sidewalk slam.
Last week it was a gut wrench suplex by Ridgeway, and this week it was an Arn Anderson spine buster.
Bam!
Man,
by default.
Bam!
if you
I
got
saw
that
him do
video,
that and I went,
yo,
oh!
if you got
Yep.
that video,
There you
that
go, Greg.
definitely goes
Greg
to
says,
my
"Can we give the
good.
secondary some love?" There you go. Dev gave the secondary some love, particularly Derek
Yeah,
Rose. Defoe.
The bad, I would say, I would have to agree with Mark, is the containment of the quarterback. It's bothersome because there's a couple of times we got Watson, Danny Dimes twice. You know what I'm saying? The RPO offense in San Fran. We got a lot of those kinds of offenses coming our way, man. Not to mention Dak, who's also very mobile. So I don't. We got to get that fixed. So that's my bad. I guess was good, bad,
Ugly, great.
ugly. Ugly would be Heinicke's throwing, man. Stop.
Yeah.
Just take what they give you, bro.
That's it.
Take what they give
give
you.
you.
Stop making it hard. Pause.
Yeah.
But
Balls.
great would be obviously Brian Robinson, man. That guy,
Yeah.
Inspirational story, should be the Washington story of the year, if not for other bullshit stories that pop up, like what we'll probably get into before this ends. It gets the Glock Dookie Award.
You know, his vision, I feel like yesterday was the first time, like his vision, you can see his vision. And same with Antonio Gibson. They're seeing the holes clog where before they would run right into the back of the lineman, and now they're starting to scat, pop those out one hole to the right and then find some daylight. And I don't know. It's nice. Haven't seen that in a long time.
Our defense is dictating the tempo of the game, and our offensive line is starting to also assist them in dictating off the tempo of our offense.
That's
so
right.
That's always a positive.
Like Terrence says, by the powers of Grayskull, hit that like button. We have the power. Yes, sir. Thank you much. That's a good reminder.
I'm more of a Thundercats. I'm more of a Thundercats hole kind of guy.
Yeah,
as you can see.
And now let's go to our next segment. We like to call the Glock Dookie Award. All right. As you guys saw, we were all dancing behind the scenes when that comes on, but I wish I could show you guys that while we're actually doing the dance. I might have to shrink that down and actually play so you can see us getting it in the background. So, Dev, who's getting a Glock Dookie Award this week?
Glock Dookie Award, I want to give it to the Sean Taylor Trophy. Not necessarily the trophy, you know what I'm saying? Or not trophy, but mannequin is the wire. I'm not giving it for the actual memorial. I'm giving it because we seem to botch memorials every time. Like the Glock Dookie is definitely a Washington shared, Glock Dookie. It's not necessarily just the mannequin there, but that didn't help, bro. I get it. Everybody knows that the Sean Taylor's family designed this whole memorial, but this is ugly, bro. And if you were friends with Sean Taylor growing up, you should have told him, hey man, this is ugly. I'm sorry. But nonetheless, that's why I give it the award, not because what it was, because what it should have been. So you get the Glock Dookie Award if you like this piece of shit.
Andre Shorter agrees with you, says the Glock Dookie Award goes to that lame ass tribute to Sean Taylor.
Stupid,
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this.
By the way, I don't even think he ever even wore a Nike jersey. Did he wear it? Was he around when we had Nike jerseys?
He's wearing it. So it's this one. It's the Reebok.
Yeah, it's weird, right? I don't know.
I don't think they can get up. Reebok's not making. I don't think Reebok is allowed to make.
I would have gave him this one. Come get it.
Like they ain't got a Sean Taylor used jersey nowhere.
Dan has one supposedly.
Dan has two. He gave one to Landon Collins.
Dan should get a Glock Dookie Award for giving one of the Sean Taylor jerseys to Landon Collins.
Why wouldn't you use a game worn jersey for that? You just got some shit. Like he ain't got no game worn stuff. Nobody's got any.
Somewhere.
By the way, first of all, okay, I'm going to fire back on this one a little bit.
Why didn't they just put a picture of
casuals who didn't know that Sean Taylor wore soccer cleats? It blows my mind.
That is weird.
That was like a known thing, and everybody's like,
confess, I didn't know that shit either. I ain't gonna lie. I had no idea. I had no idea of this until I think you told me before this came out. I think you mentioned it before. I didn't know until you told me. So.
Yeah, this was a known thing because it was unique. They did that, but it was a preference of his. Now, secondly, any opinion on this is irrelevant. Any fan opinion on this is irrelevant.
The only opinion that matters is Sean Taylor's family. Hell, Sean Taylor's family was involved in this. They seem to love it. So you know what?
Hey man,
All of our opinions don't mean a damn thing. This is not how I would have done it.
I was involved in my uncle's funeral, man.
It's not for me.
My aunt was involved in my uncle's funeral, rather, and we was like, "Hey, man, you made my uncle look like shit in the casket." That's what we told her. You know what I'm saying? It's, sometimes you gotta take the criticism if it's due. I mean, nobody in Sean Taylor's family had a used game worn jersey they could have donated to his memorial. This is crazy. Like, it's just little things, man. I'm not even mad at that wired mannequin thing. I'm not even mad at that. That's cool. It's not even a problem. It's just you didn't even do that right. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even do that right.
Yeah.
They could have just had a plaque with a picture or a painting and just had some flowers people got to throw on it, man. That would have been cool.
So they also did a mural with to Sam Fortier. This is a mural that was done by, I want to say, his uncle.
It was Jackie's uncle.
Okay, there you go.
I think it was Sean's cousin.
And pretty badass. I can't wait to actually go see this. In all honesty.
Dope. Yeah, let's also look at it this way. All right, if we had done a bronze statue, people would complain, "Oh, we just did another statue like everyone else does. We can't do anything different and new and better."
How about you do nothing?
Gold statue, people would have said it's not platinum. This fan base loves to bitch and kvetch about everything. That's awesome.
Yeah, and this so they put this on the club level. This is a locker room. I think this is where the rest of his stuff is, if there is stuff remaining from him.
They're gonna put that jersey on the mannequin, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
It seemed like a weird. It seemed like I think if they had not made that the center of attention, it would have been fine. Like if they had just made that in addition to those other stuff, it'd been fine. But it was like the main thing they showed. Why not show this shit right here is the main thing? That was the best thing I've seen.
Yeah, because they put on club level, and that's the have and the have-nots up there.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a.
Yam says also what they should have done.
Game of Thrones where they get the hookers and whores at. What's that area of town called?
Flea Bottom.
Yeah, Flea Bottom. That's where you gotta go to Flea Bottom to see the real shit, the good stuff.
So the murals on Flea Bottom. This is Landing
to see the.
This is in the red keep up here.
Right.
Yam says also what they should have done is had two of these displays. Should have put a burgundy one with 36 on it too, or even a 30 if they could get his Pro Bowl uni. Yeah.
Terrence says they should have done nothing with that dude. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah. Best feared safeties that game has ever seen. Loved seeing him play. And safeties to this day still say they model their game after Sean Taylor. It's crazy, especially the ones that come to Washington. But still, safeties around the league still say Sean Taylor is who I model my game after.
He was built like a strong safety. He had more range than most free safeties. He could hit and he could ball hawk. He was a complete player, right? And he had just ascended to an elite level when he got cut down. And he deserves a memorial. He gets the memorial. There's other players on this team's franchise history that may deserve a statue or something like that too. And they'll probably get it. Gibbs should get one.
Yeah.
Riggins should get something. A couple other guys. Art Monk deserves something. Dale Green. You can list them all. Now, someone pointed this out too. Jack Kent Cook didn't do anything like this for anybody. Didn't retire numbers. Didn't do nothing. Jack Kent Cook didn't do any of this.
Preston Marshall was racist.
Be happy we got something.
Yeah.
Be happy we got something because we haven't had anything like this at all anywhere.
Mr. Marshall had a little Niglet statue he used to have in the front yard, eating watermelon and raking leaves and shit. Remember those?
Just for old time's sake, Andre says it would have been better if we had a statue of this play right here of Taylor murdering the Pro Bowl. So let's play it for old time's sake.
Amazing.
My gosh.
You got knocked the fuck out.
No, he didn't. The fact that Mormon got right up.
Yeah, he probably was concussed, dude.
Y'all make Buffalo Bills like that no more, bro.
Like, look at that.
Sean Taylor standing there.
Dude, he probably was hurting for days.
Chantel made good
Look at this.
points.
I don't
Watch-
know
watch
if it was a
replay.
fake. It might be he just decided to run with it.
Oh.
But Sean Taylor came from about 30
By the
yards.
way, that's a legal
back.
hit in this
And
modern
it just
NFL.
ran right
You know what? And in the Pro Bowl,
Ran a 2 and 3. Whether it was his decision or not, guess
Well, it
what?
won't be legal
It
in the
was
new Pro Bowl.
bring that back.
Will be legal in the
Let's see
touch
some
football.
real football in the Pro Bowl. I know we're not having a Pro Bowl this
And
year,
I want
but
to see.
let's
I
see
want to see
that.
you wearing your own helmets in the Pro Bowl game. That stuff was dope back in the day, man. We don't do none of that no more.
Yeah, Marcus says, "Dev, I remember the statue in front of the yard, the front yard cushion."
Oh man, everybody had a little Nicholas statues in front of their yard, man, growing up, not
Yeah.
even knowing they was racist. Hey man, I could take it one step further, man. I had a motherfucking Dukes of Hazzard big wheel with the rebel flag and everything on it.
I have one too, man.
That
I had a little
motherfucker all
handbrake.
day had
a little
no
handbrake.
idea. Man.
Yeah.
I used to
Yo,
get the
what
button,
money did y'all come
yeehaw,
from to have stuff like that?
And toys
None
for
of
tots.
that.
Toys for tots were mine.
I had one that me, my brother, and my sister shared. So between three of us, we spread the $10 out, whatever it costs.
Man.
I didn't get
All
no
right.
$10 nothing. I grew up. My parents took me like Disney on Ice. My dad bitched about the price of popcorn in 1980,
Yeah.
whatever.
So Phil,
See,
you
we
ain't
need
have
to
none
get
of
those
them
That's
little
what I
black
grew up
kids.
with.
You didn't have none of them little black people statues in front of your yard.
Andre
Even
says,
watermelon or
"Def
with a
be killing me
lantern.
with this shit." He says,
No.
All right, Dev, we're gonna go game balls now. One for offense, one for defense.
Feels like
Go.
in a minute. What game balls?
Game ball.
Offense. Robinson before any of y'all do it, and defense Forrester before any of y'all do it.
So
Chappelle,
B-Rob and
Chappelle.
Forrester, Defoe.
Robin Forrester, game balls.
Okay, Phil.
Game ball on offense. So since we took away Robinson, I'm going to give a game ball to John Bates. 3 catches, 24 yards, a touchdown. He had multiple key blocks on run plays to Spring Robinson and Gibson. So I'm going to give an offensive game ball to John Bates. On defense, I am going to give a game ball to none other than Deron Payne for stuffing the middle, forced a lot of those runs outside, and for making the game-winning tipped ball. And he had 6 tackles, 3 solo as well.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going to give my offensive game ball to Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson continues to show his versatility. 9 carries, 32 yards in the rushing game, an additional 3 carries and 22 yards in the passing game. And he had a couple returns, didn't really do a whole lot in the return game, but he had 2 for 51. He even had a 31-yarder. So to me, I'm going to say that goes to Antonio Gibson. And for defense, of course, I want to say Montez Sweat. He had 2 tackles for loss, but I'm going to go off the deep end again because I'm my second favorite player on the team. I'm going to go defense/special teams. Tressway, 3 punts, 127 yards, long of 45, still putting those coffin corner kicks in. So let's go. Let's take a look at some of these other game balls. First off, Marcus says, I had a Dukes of Hazzard car racetrack. Yeah. Yam says, B-Rob and D Payne. All right. Patrice, Miss Washington says, Brian Robinson Jr. game ball. Also, Deron Payne. Marcus, offense goes to Robinson, Gibson, and Williams. Defense, Deron Payne and Christian Holmes. He played well in his first start. So Marcus giving out a few game balls today. Okay. I see you, Marcus, giving out your game balls like that. Greg Delaney.
Even the entire backfield.
Yeah, game ball, Deron Payne and Kendall Fuller. Kendall Fuller, 2 picks in 2 games. I like that trend.
Keep it up, Kenny.
Got to keep that going. So we've been dogging Fuller early in the season. We have. Him and Jackson got a lot. They caught a lot of flack early.
Jackson left and suddenly Fuller got better.
How does that happen? Cody says B-A-T-E-S. Hold on. His college.
Now, how's Jackson doing in guys?
Bates' college. North Dakota?
Boise State.
Boise State. Oh, he's a Kellen Moore school alum, Boise State. I think Kellen Moore had broke some records about being like the winningest quarterback in NCAA. He had some stupid record.
I think he had the highest. I think he had thrown the most touchdown passes when he left school.
Boise State would continuously be like 12-0 every year and barely in the top 25 with their blue field. I don't know. Funny. Yam says, I used to have Dukes of Hazzard stunt set where you could have the general lead jump through the crash and through.
Yeah.
We all did. We all did, man. We all had
They
that.
still make those crowd tracks where you can pull the trigger and it race around real fast. Remember
I
those?
don't know.
You
I
have
have
to
no idea.
take an eraser and wipe the bottom of the car every now and then.
They probably do
Those
somewhere.
needles.
They got to have it somewhere. All right. Now, for those who talked about it earlier, let's go ahead and talk about Taylor Heinicke's evaluation. So we talked about this earlier about what would Taylor Heinicke be worth? What do we think he'd be worth? So Spot Track, compliment to Phil finding this, they throw a value. They throw a value on what they think a player could be worth, given probably their current performance. I'm guessing there is some algorithm that goes along with it, but if you can't see it, they're saying right now his calculated market value right now, as of today, would be 3 years, $59.2 million, average salary, $19.7 million.
So let's use whole numbers here.
There's no way.
Would you pay Taylor Heinicke a 3-year, $60 million contract?
No.
Talk to me at the end of the season.
Would you?
No.
Is Taylor Heinicke worth $20 million of your salary cap a year?
If Taylor Heinicke wins a playoff game, are you okay with it then?
Did
happens.
Taylor Heinicke win the playoff game, or did Taylor Heinicke
Be a
just
part
hit the
of a
ball
playoff
off
game winning team. If he's a part of the team that wins.
You
the
know,
playoff
I
game.
would be more if this is what the team was going to do. I would do like a 2-year, $10 million. Because you know what? At that point,
$10 million a year.
yeah, at that point, now you're talking
Let's
Chase Daniel money. You're talking Colt McCoy money.
I'm letting that dude go at the end of the year, bro.
let me
You're
point
probably
out
good.
something for those. 19 million, hell, that's almost 20 million there, Greg.
I cut him.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I just don't resign.
Taylor Heinicke has played the same and started the same number of games as Carson Wentz. Yes, his record is better. He has thrown 61 less passes. He has thrown only 1 less interception out of 61 passes. And he is averaging 54 yards less a game throwing the ball. And his quarterback rating is 2 points below.
And more importantly, he has
Now,
more wins since he's been a starter.
This is not now. By the way, this is not me trying to say pay wins. I'm using the standard here. People say Wentz isn't worth 28 million. They say he's not worth half that. Now, I just gave you Taylor Heinicke's performance in terms of what he's bringing to the table. In a league like the NFL is today, he is averaging 194 yards a game passing. Do you give somebody $20 million to average less than 200 yards a game passing in the 2022 NFL?
I think the most I would probably go is like 6. I feel comfortable with maybe 6 million.
Then
you're legit backup territory.
I'll tell you what. If you're going to roll with him maybe through next year, I'd give him 8.
Yeah.
Man, that's the max.
And y'all know me, I'm harsh on Taylor objectively.
I'd be like, look,
And
man,
I'm
a
saying
lot of
8.
Michael Jordans with $8 million. So,
$20 million a year is his calculated market value. He ain't going back here next year if he wants to go test the free agent waters. Look at that. Somebody's going to give him money.
no,
It can't be us.
No, they ain't.
I mean,
Nobody's
here's some Tua is still on his. I think no, Tua's only getting 8.
Tua's on a rookie
He's
contract.
on his rookie contract. Joe Burrow still on his rookie contract, 9.8. Kyler Murray 12. Tom Brady 11.8. Jimmy Garoppolo 13.9. Matthew Stafford 12.9. These are their cap hits, by the way.
Would you pay Garoppolo $13 million to come here next year?
I wouldn't want to.
Me neither. I wouldn't.
Because it's just a better version of a way better version of Taylor. Baker Mayfield 4.8. Marcus Mariota 4.2. Jameis Winston's only making 4. Taylor's 3.6 this year. Geno Smith, the biggest robbery of the season. Geno Smith's making $3.5 million this year. That dude's a top 7 quarterback right now. $3.5 million.
No.
I would argue he was maybe I would stretch it to 10, but
No.
This
not
year, this
anymore.
season.
Geno Smith this season right now.
Man, who's having the best year?
Nobody.
Smith Walker is carrying that team a lot like our running game is carrying Taylor.
I don't know, man. Geno's had a couple of 300-yard, multiple touchdown games.
Well, you know what, though? Has
Yeah.
Taylor this
No.
season?
Not at all. No.
Has he
He's
even
gone
come
over-
close?
I don't think he's been over 200 yards maybe like once, has he? This year?
Twice.
Twice?
No, I think it's been 3 times. I think he's like crept barely over 200 a couple times.
Geno Smith, 73% completion rate,
Oh
28
God, I didn't realize it was that high.
2,800 yards, 19
Geno Smith balling.
touchdowns, 5 interceptions with a quarterback rating of 107.9.
Right.
He's
He's in the
out-
MVP race this
Crazy
year.
good numbers.
He's in the MVP race this year.
Crazy good number. He's going to get a deal. I'm happy for him. I just like Geno
I
Smith.
like Geno Smith too.
I want to see him do well.
He looks like a Negro spiritual, but
Well,
I definitely mess with Geno Smith.
that's the music. The music is coming.
You got Negro spirituals?
Some of the people said, Patrice says no. James Nicholas, no effing way. Greg Delaney, he's not worth 19 million or 19.7. Andre
I
Schroeder
don't
said,
give that turkey. I don't give that
Nah.
turkey any money. $0 is what he gets, bro.
Yeah.
I either run with Hal next year or I draft somebody.
Yeah.
In fact, I just got the Lamar Jackson or A-Rod.
Yam says there's 10 more backups making more than Taylor right now.
It needs to be 10 more next year.
Marcus says Gino's doing better than Sierra's husband. Ooh, burn. He about to get benched too. Watch.
Man, if that happens,
They need to give him an injury status. He needs to get an injury designation. That's what he needs
that's
for
what's
his own
going to
good.
happen. That's what's going to happen.
Injuries are
He'll get one.
Did you see Mike Purcell yell in his face yesterday?
Yeah.
I don't know
What'd
what he
he say?
said. I don't know.
Sierra's no Aaliyah. Nah. Oh no.
He said,
Probably what he
Future's
said.
still banging your wife.
Did you hear who they cut?
Man.
They cut Melvin Gordon because apparently he was blasting Future in a locker room. It rumored, and then Wilson went to the owner or management and said, "Cut him." I don't know if that's true or not. But
Man,
that's
wouldn't you
what I
though?
heard.
He was.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Play the GC part where it said in the future, seeing playing football with your son. Like play it in Future's locker room, see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's-
Tia Holloway says Taylor has to tighten up some. Yeah. Andre says Heinicke fans swear the team's success streak because of him, while shifting the effort from the running game and defense. That's right. Yam says Aaliyah was my girl. Her and Chili.
Yeah,
Left
man.
eye. Travis Luke Moyes from Facebook. Thanks for joining, man. We're about to wrap it up, but we appreciate you joining. Anyways, Greg Delaney said Russ made the bad decision. He would have been better in Washington. But let's go ahead and
They would
shout out.
have loved that guy. They would have loved that guy here, man.
He would have
They
been
would've
good.
loved
I
that
think
guy.
he would have.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's Taylor, but like that's he can make the throws.
Better. If we run this offense with Russ,
Yeah, it'd be good.
yeah.
That ship has sailed. Ain't happening now.
Wow,
We've seen crazier things though. All right, shout outs. What do we got? Phil, any shout outs?
Shout out to Sean Taylor's family.
Yeah.
If I had to go online and see everybody shitting on the memorial made for my family member, I would be mad. So the fact that they aren't being vocal about it, firing back the way Lamar Jackson fires back at Baltimore fans on Twitter, y'all better people than I am. I'd be losing it. Someone showed up at my funeral and be like, "Man, them flowers are ugly," and you're not even invited to the funeral. You're just there.
It happens, man.
So
It happens. You don't have somebody looking right in that casket.
Y'all are handling this entire situation that's being unnecessarily blown out of proportion by this fan base with a lot of humility and grace, and y'all are better people than the rest of us for it.
Yeah. There it says.
P.S. That trophy still is ugly. That picture is still hideous. Doesn't change it. He's right. Phil's absolutely right. Though it shouldn't matter because we didn't make it, but it's terrible looking. You should have used other parts of the tribute to be the main focus point for pictures and for like people to see. Because there's a lot of good stuff. There's more good stuff about that memorial than bad stuff. So
Yeah.
But you know what, too? We end up going to the playoffs. We win a wild card game. Everybody's going to forget about it.
right, I forgot about it today.
Everybody complain about it now. We'll go take pictures of it as they file into the stadium for our wild card playoff game.
That's right.
Yep.
I want to take a picture about that.
I would love to show some of the comments right now, but for some reason, the stream is completely frozen when the comments. I won't let me click on these and broadcast them like we have been all show. I don't know why. I apologize, but Travis, Greg, thank you for the comments. The Terrence says, shout out to Command.
We lost. It's just me. It's just me. I'm the only one on this feed, and I can't do anything to stop this feed. So I gotta wait for Steve to come back. But you know what? Shout out to also everybody in the comments section, because you make this live. You make this honestly, and I say this not because I'm a part of it, but this is, in terms of podcast, most enjoyable one out there is Command This. Why? Because of y'all. Y'all make it very interesting. Y'all add to it. We think we're entertaining guys, but we always like having such entertaining and vocal commenters to bounce that off of. Makes it all enjoyable for the rest of us. There, I held it down while y'all were gone.
There you go. Terry says, shout out to Command This podcast. Always a pleasure. And cheers. I'm sorry. It kicked Devin and I at the same time. So I don't know. You survived, Phil. You were the strongest out there, I guess.
Jay Schrader's better than Heinicke.
Yeah, so peace out, fam. HTTC, let's get these wins. So much needed postseason success. That's right. Marcus says, rip Sean Taylor, respect his family. Yep, that's it. Cody Jones, left hand up. Yam says, I just want us to spoil someone's season. That's right. That's right. Phil on the ones and twos, holding it down. Hey, we really appreciate you guys. Like we said before, go over to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button for us. We really appreciate it. And if you made it this far, hey, we owe you. We love you. We'll be back Thursday as we get ready to prepare to talk about the upcoming game against the lovely, actually terrible New York Giants coming up on the 4th of December, Sunday, 1 p.m. game. We're going up north.
Yes, guys.
It's going to be a big one.
We can sweep the Giants. Great things are in our future.
Big one. And for the record, no one did predict the scores. We were pretty close on a lot of them, but we didn't get any exact predictions. But hey, we'll continue to do this thing. Hit that like rockin' Cobra. That's right. Hey, so hit us up on Thursday. We'll be here in a live stream. Hope to see you then. Talking all things New York Giants. So do your research, get your study on, bring some notes, bring some talking points, and let's talk some New York Giants on Thursday night. But can't say thank you enough. But we're signing off here. This is Command This podcast. We love you, as always. First off, left hand up. Who are we?
The Commanders.
Inhale. We out.